So in the first video, we removed the spring, we checked our install height. Now it's time to install our stuff. The first thing we're going to do is install our valve seals. So what I'm going to do first is put this little piece of shrink tube that I cut in half on there, just so the seal can slide down the stem just fine without getting burred. And I'm going to put a little bit of oil down the stem. Get some on my hand. There we go. Okay, so I'll put some all down here. Like that. Okay. So I take that. Oop. There we go. Down it goes. Should be able to pop off this now, like that. So make sure we keep that lubricated. Now what we'll do is we'll take a 13mm socket and we'll push down evenly, and hopefully this pops it on. Okay. Now, we can put on our shim. So 30 thou shim right here. Then our locator, 60 thou. This is a little tougher to get on. Make sure it's nice and seated. Good. Okay, now we can install our springs. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to set my, see this better. I'm going to put my inner spring onto my retainer right now, because as you can see, it stays put. Drop that down like so over the locator, and then once we set this in, we should be good to go. And put on our tool. Like that. Handle. Keepers right there. Now what I want to do is make sure this is nicely lined up like that. Like so. So I was having a few problems getting the locks in. It turns out the problem was this part of the tool was almost falling off, and so now I am able to get this to fully go down. I'm not going to do it now because I just got the keepers in. Anyways, they were a little bit tricky. It seemed like the spring wanted to push back that way, so you just kind of had to be patient and then just hold the keepers on, and then they would go in. So that one is in. So pull that off. So right here on the tool, this part can move around and this lock nut kind of holds it together. So this was coming off the threads. So anyways, that one's on. Time for the rocker. Put this guy back on. Oh, it probably helps if I put a push rod in it. Like so. And then like that. Okay, just a couple turns just to get it on. I'm not going to do any lash adjustment just yet because I'm going to go now do the intake valve, and then I will set the lash right afterwards. Okay, we're going to try this again. Got the keepers on like so, and we're going to go nice and slow and try not to pinch our fingers. And like that, we're on. There we go. One thing to note is it's very good practice to measure install height with the actual retainer as well on every single valve that you do. This one measured out to 2.0 on the install height, so I needed to run a 60 thou shim to get the pressures that I want. Okay, so let's put the rocker on, I guess. Push rod. Like so. Rocker again. It's still nice and oily. Like that. Okay, we're going to adjust the valves, and the procedure we're going to use, we're going to grab the push rod, wiggle it up and down, turn the lock nut until we get to 0 lash, because we are using a hydraulic cam. Like so. Put the wrench on roughly at 12 o'clock position. Half turn. Then we can take the wrench here. There we go. And if we try turning this, it should just be solid. Good. And we are adjusted. We have everything reinstalled now. I just ended up following the firing order of my engine, so 184, 36572. So once I was done with the number 1 cylinder, I moved on to number 8. All you have to do is just throw the rope into that cylinder, turn the crank 90 degrees clockwise, bring it up to TDC, and then you can change the valves and set your lash for those and move on. I ended up redoing the number 1 exhaust valve because I found that there was a whole ton of variances. So tip of the day is measure every single one with the actual retainer and the actual valve lock, because in my case there was all sorts of differences and everyone had to be shimmed differently. I also ended up having to buy a pack of these 50 thou offset retainers to reduce my install height, because with the tool steel retainers they measured a lot higher than with the original ones. So here is what my end result is, the actual install heights, measured heights, measured valve springs or spring pressures, and all the shims. So have a look through that if you so choose. For now, we can put back our valve covers and spark plugs and finish the rest up so we can start this engine. Thanks for watching.